Holy howdy to you, expanding beautiful gifts of creation. Precious ones, today's spiritual nectar is about an East African story that is from Dar, Tanzania, about finding God, the Creator. A little East African boy in Dar, named Abbas, wanted to meet God. He knew that it was a long trip to where God lived. So he packed his bag with small sweet cakes and a large bottle of water and started on his journey. He had been on his way for about 10 long minutes when he met an old woman. She was sitting in a park by the Indian Ocean just staring at some African birds. Abbas sat down next to her and opened his bag. He was about to take a drink from his water bottle when he noticed that the old lady looked hungry. So he offered her a small sweet cake. She gratefully accepted and smiled very big at him. Her smile was so pretty that Abbas wanted to see it again. So he offered her a drink from his bottle. Again, she smiled that big smile at him, and the boy was so delighted. Abbas and the old woman sat there all afternoon, eating and drinking and smiling and being one with one another. But they never said a word. As it grew dark, Abbas realized how tired he was and got up to leave. But before he had gone more than a few steps, Abbas turned around, ran back to the old woman and gave her a big hug, and she gave him back the biggest smile of the day. When Abbas opened the door to his own home a short time later, his mother was surprised by the look of joy on his face. He was glowing. She asked him, "What did you do today that makes you so full of joy? You're glowing." He replied, "I had lunch with God." But before his mother could respond, he added, "You know what? She's got the most beautiful smile I've ever seen." Meanwhile, the old woman, also radiant with joy, returned to her home in Dar. Her son was stunned by the look of joy on her face, and he asked, "Mother, what did you do today that makes you so full of joy and you're glowing?" She replied, "I ate small sweet cakes and drank some water in the park with God." And then before her son could respond, she added, "You know, he's much younger than I expected." This story is totally amazing. And some people could be upset by it. Some people will find it soothing of who we really are within us and with one another. And by the way, Abbas means lion. Let us wrap this East African story in pure love and not in religious dogma. Pure love and not fear. I've experienced the divine in people from all over the world, no matter their religion, culture, ethnicity, educational level, economic level. Much of seeing and experiencing the divine in others is how we see and experience ourselves. First, we're cosmic beings flying around a galaxy. We're amazing beings of love and light. So many precious souls have bought into the division game instead of the uniting energies of life. You are an eternal being of the more. When we divide, we are limiting our cosmic experience manyfold. When we divide, we limit our discovering the depths of our inner essence that has incredible divine connection to all that is. Back in the 1980s, a group of Christians met in the office of the Graduate International Housing I managed. I asked my good Muslim friend Muhammad Azahari to come to this group and sit on the couch and just be him. No words would be mentioned from him, just as in a story between a boss and a smiling older lady. Muhammad was from Sudan, whose teacher was like a Gandhi. The evil military regime did not like the love and teachings of Taha, so they disposed of him, and many of his people arrested, including my friend Muhammad. So the day came, and he was dressed in his traditional bright many-colored Sudanese robe. You see, he was one of the darkest men I knew, but I would see him walking on campus, and many times he would just be glowing. As the meeting went along, pure love started filling the room. and the attendees noticed it was coming from the couch where Muhammad was sitting. He was being a simple, sacred vessel for the divine energies to be released. One of the females said, "Wait, he has what we are desiring." The lady and Muhammad had big smiles on their faces, just like in the story. How much divine energies and divine appointments are we missing because we do not see the divine in ourselves, or because of the lower energies of division, or both, so we cannot see the divine in others? I'll share one more story, finding God, the divine, within a person. My grandma, who I've shared some of her famous sayings on other videos, was in a coma in her bed in the rest home. Grandma was in her upper 90s, and her wit memory was better than mine back then. I visited her every week, if not more. She always told me she would not cross over till one of the relationships was repaired in her family. As soon as that relationship was restored, Grandma went into a coma. This person was in the room with Grandma and with me. The watchers told me Grandma was ready to cross over. I was holding both of Grandma's hands with both of my hands, the sacred circuit as I call it. I would talk to Grandma, and I could feel the life force leave her and then flow back in. This happened several times, and I knew her time was getting very close to crossing over. The divine energies were so strong. All of a sudden, she opened her eyes, looked right through me, and spoke to her mom across the waters that she saw. "I'm coming across, Mom. I'm coming across." The life energy was departing when she took her last breath and left in love and peace. There were the divine smiles on her face, on Rev's face. I'd experienced something so sacred, so divine between my grandma and myself. Thank you for stopping by. I'm seeing the divine smile on your face that's connected to the more. Be you, precious one. Everyone else is taken. You are an amazing being of the more. Have a wonderful and meaningful day. For our sacred search for God, we do not have to travel too far, like the East African boy Abbas. It seems God loves sweet cakes. Big sky hugs to you. I'm thankful for each and every one of you. I'll be thinking about you till next time. Take care.